welcome to the first installment of this four-part series that I'm calling First Impression Stud. Now, before we get into the lesson for today's first installment, let me first tell you a little backstory of why I'm creating this short little mini program right here. All right, so last weekend I went to Las Vegas for a networking event. All right, so at a networking event, obviously I'm into social dynamics. That's why you're here. That's why you're learning from me. I'm into social dynamics and all things personal magnetism, charisma, attraction, charm, things of that nature. All right, everything. And obviously I'm going to go there and I'm going to meet a lot of people. And because I'm into this kind of stuff, I'm going to notice little things that they do and I'm going to notice their downfalls. I'm going to notice my own downfalls. I'm not perfect by any means. But that being said, I met a lot of people at this event. Now, at this event, there were a lot of people who were not so good, let's just say, at making a great first impression. And then there were other people who were really, really good. People that I'm going to remember for forever after meeting them just once. And people that, those same people are the same people that I feel like I have a deep connection with. And I might have only talked to them for maybe 30 seconds, a minute. And it's just magic, okay? And that's first impression, all right? Those are first impression studs, and that's the goal of this program right here, all right? So this is the first installment. Now that's the backstory. Now, here's the first thing in the first lesson that I want you to take away for today before we get into tomorrow and the next day and the next day, all right? Each person that I met who was really good at making a great first impression, I noticed that they had three things that they did. Three things that they all had that made them just like the fucking man or the woman, the fucking women, whatever. But the other people, they did the opposite, okay? And here's the thing that this is my downfall at first, was when I met those people, I thought, well, what was it about me? Did I say something wrong? Did my breath smell? Was my hair messed up? Do I have hat head when I take off my hat? Is my shirt a little underdressed for this event? And I started thinking all these things of like, what did I do? Here's the thing that I failed to realize at first, and then, obviously I came back around, and here's the first lesson that I want you to take away from this first installment, is whenever you meet someone, whether they're good or bad at making a good first impression, whether they're good or bad at social dynamics, or whether they're physically attractive or not, remember that there's another person in this interaction, all right? Remember that there's another person on the other end of this interaction, all right? It's not all about this guy right here. So many people in today's society are so egocentric in the way they think, which is, it's good. That's how people survive. That's how everybody survives, is because we have to take care of ourselves first. But when we meet people, we start to reflect back on like, well, what did I do wrong? I'm worried about my breath. Do they even notice? Do they notice this like pimple on my face? Do they notice all these things about me that I notice? And we get so egocentric based that we forget that they have their own story, all right? That person is doing the exact same thing. All right, so here's the thing that I want you to realize. One, you don't have any downfalls, all right? Your downfalls that you think are downfalls, nobody even notices, all right? Because they're so busy worrying about themselves. However, the great thing that other people do who are really good at social dynamics is they realize that the other person is doing that and they're empathetic towards that, okay? They realize that, and they realize that the other person has their own story. So if I met someone who was very short with me, or maybe the interaction didn't go as I might have liked, well, I got to realize that I don't know. They could have just gotten maybe a text that said their dog died. Maybe their girlfriend texted them and broke up with them over text. Or maybe they just realized that everybody else in the world has 10 toes and they only have 9 toes and they're feeling a little bit down about that. Who knows what is putting them in that mood? Who knows if that they're always that way? You don't know, all right? Assume the best out of people, all right? So that's the first paradigm shift that I want to give you in this first installment of First Impressions Stud, all right? I hope it was a big one. I hope you got a lot out of this one alone, all right? And if you did, or even if you didn't, look forward to the next 3 days, because those are some big days, dude. Big shit coming. We're gonna try to up the ante every time, all right? It's just gonna get better from here. Peace.